Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. If there wasn't these fires up in Canada, it would be a clear Tuesday, but it is going to be overcast. It was supposed to be clear yesterday, but the fire smog stuff was so heavy in the air. I mean, it was just dark. Currently, 53 degrees, going to be high somewhere upper 70s, low 80s. 112 a.m. is going to be the moon set, and 6:13 p.m. is going to be the moon rise, and we have a waxing gibbous. All right, so we're in a study of Job, and we're in Job chapter 20, and Zophar speaks. And remember, Zophar means departing, departing or sparrow, so like flying away. And um, he says it all he needs to say in verses 2 and 3. And when you peel that back, it uncovers his whole mindset toward Job. So he says, therefore, my thoughts answer me because of my haste. Okay? Now, in the NASB, it says inward agitation, because of my inward agitation. Right? My thoughts answer me because of my inward agitation. All right? My haste within me. I hear censure that insults me. Okay? I hear censure that insults me, and out of my understanding, a spirit answers me. See, out of the flesh, that is where the demonic and Satan or Satan or his traps, his snares, his armies, his principalities and powers. That's where they cling. Okay, and so that's what exasperates these thoughts. And so it is that burning sensation inside him that he's accusing Job of, as the chapter moves on. When he starts talking about in chapter 12, the evil is sweet in his mouth, though he hides it under his tongue, right? Though he is loath to let it go, he holds it in his mouth. He wants it, right? He wants it. Then it says, verse 14, yet his food is turned in his stomach, it is venom of cobras within him. Where does that come from, right? This is all carnal, this is all flesh, right? And this 12, 13, 14 is what he's projecting onto Job, but it's the same thing that he has going on in him, and he admits it here in verses 2 and 3. Then he says, do you not know this? This is verse 4. Do you not know this from the old, since man was placed on earth? The exalting of the wicked is short, and the joy of the godless is but for a moment. Well, yes, that is true. Right, that is true. I wonder all the time why the wicked prosper. But in this flesh, in this life, in this short vapor of a moment, it seems as though they're prospering, but this is short. Eternally, there won't be any prosper. Okay, there won't be any prosper. Then in verse 6, though his height mount up to the heavens, and his head reach the clouds, loftiness, he will perish forever like his own dung. Right? So this loftiness, notice it's equivalent to our own excrement. It's our own poop. The lofty head leads to the equivalency of a giant pile of poop, right? So though it may have the height up to a mountain, it's a mountain full of poop. Okay, it's a mountain full of poop. Um, Verses 8 and 9, actually through 11, right? The isolation, right, is a big part of hell. He will fly away like a dream and not be found, right? He will be chased away like a vision in the night. he won't be remembered, right? The wicked person, he he won't have a legacy. His children will seek favor of the poor, right? Is so what we think we're building up, if it's done through wickedness or unjust gains, or even if your children have it in this life, in the next life they won't, right? They won't. Um, Children will seek favor of the poor, and his hands will give back his wealth. His bones are full of his youthful vigor, but it will lie down with him in the dust. It will lie down with him in the dust. So no matter how um, powerful that drive is inside for wealth, or and whatever drives this wicked, whatever fills that thirst, right? That it says in verse 12 is sweet in the mouth, and um, hide, that we want to hide under our tongue, right? Um, that's gonna lie down with us in the dust too, right? That feeling of fullness goes away. It's isolated, right? There's emptiness, nothing but torment, all the things that make us feel good. I think we can see them, we can want them, we can wish for them, and know we will never get them. That's what it is for the wicked person. That's tough stuff, man. Then we got 12, 13, and 14. And the same sweetness of evil is poison to our insides, right? That same sweetness of evil is poison to our insides. Just like him, his thoughts answer my thoughts. Therefore, my thoughts answer me because of my haste, right? This inward agitation. He's got to lay into Job, right? And because it's sweet in his mouth, right? It's sweet, but really it's just poison. It fuels that spot for that spirit to continue to drive, to continue to answer. That's verse 3, right? That spirit. Though he loathed to let it go, it holds in his mouth. You don't want to let it go, right? Yet his food is turned in his stomach. It is the venom of cobras within him. Yeah, it is. It's that poison of cobras. It's that poison of the demonic pushing you. Now, 15 through 19, there's no wealth in hell, y'all. There's no wealth in hell, right? And whatever drives us or satiates or satisfies, there is no satiation in hell. Nothing like that. He swallows down his riches and vomits them up again. God casts them out of his belly, right? So for those driven by riches, it's a sickness, y'all. It's a sickness. Or, for Zophar, driven by the having to be right, or the putting down, or the having to call out the sin, whatever it is, it's a sickness, right? It's a sickness, and that God purges or won't let us keep, even, right? So those things that make us feel good, God's gonna purge them from us. That whatever makes us cling to this wickedness and not repent, not turn to God, not hear the word, not turn, not have a heart for the Lord. These things that keep us hard or blind or stiff-necked, right? That those things that drive us, gone, right? Gone. He will suck the poison of cobras. The tongue of the viper will kill him, right? You keep going after it, just like Zophar. Keep going after it. You suck that poison, and it grows and it kills. He will not look upon the rivers, the streams flowing with honey and curds. That promised land, you're never gonna get it, right? That you're never gonna get it. He will give back the fruit of his toil and will not swallow it down. Right? What do you strive for? You're giving it back. You don't have it. Whatever you're working for, does not satisfy the wicked, right? It does not satisfy the wicked. This love of riches, or love of um, elevated status, love of being right, these things, that they no longer satisfy. So where's our satiation come from? Where does our satisfaction come from? That is the question. Um, let's just skip down verse 20. Because he knew no contentment in his belly, he will not let anything in which he delights escape him. See, when there's no quietness, that's the NASB word they use for no contentment, no quietness, um, must be continually trying to attain, right? Attain. Oppress in this picture, and Zophar is oppressing too. It may not be for riches, but it is for this elevated status, right? Oppress. Well, it won't be any of that in hell either. Okay, none of that in hell. There was nothing left after he had eaten, therefore his prosperity will not endure. See, when you have to fill, there's nothing left, right? And then when there's nothing left, you're not full, and there's nothing left. It's just terrible. It's terrible. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he will be in distress. Yeah. When you have to have more and more and more to be sufficient is a distressing place. You don't want to be sufficient. You want to keep having that drive. The hand of everyone in misery will come against him. People in hell or in misery or in wickedness will pull you in. Just look at, I think it's the last two verses of Romans chapter 1, as you're turning away from God and walking reprobate. Other reprobates are kind of smiling and laughing at you on your way to abomination, right? He will flee from an iron weapon, a bronze arrow will strike him through, there's no escape. That's verse 24. Here's the thing, this no escape, God, listen to this, to verse 23, to fill his belly full, God will send his burning anger against him and rain it upon him into his body. So, for God there is the heaven side, right, and the grace side and the mercy side, and for heaven, heaven will be full, but also hell needs to be full too. And for God to be complete, the hell side must take place, and therefore this burning wrath, this burning anger will come upon the wicked. So for God to be complete, the wicked must receive wrath. And now here in this, he's applying that Job must receive wrath, okay? It is drawn forth, it comes out of his body, the glittering point comes out of his gallbladder, terrors come upon him. It's a painful death, and a painful and slow death in terror. That's what hell's like. It's a painful and slow death in terror. And then running out of time, but just drop down to verse 29, verse 29. This is the wicked man's portion from God, the heritage decreed for him by God. That is wrath. So, and though his statements are right, like hell is going to be wrath, and that this vivid, candid description is accurate. Once again, it's accurate. But when you use it for a weapon, such as he did, it's fueling that carnal desire, that unsatiated poison, or the cobra's inside, as it says, that fill the poison, right? The venom of cobras are within him. It is when you use it like this, It is the venom of cobras that's coming out of us, right? That's that spirit answering from the flesh. All right, you guys, have a wonderful day.